The publishing industry is akin to a cartel. There, I said the quiet part out loud that nobody wants to really talk about. Hey everyone, so this is Kyle, author behind The Ward Dispatch, and also the voice actor for all the videos you've watched and haven't watched so far. I don't have a script or anything this time for these types of videos, but I wanted to create something that allows you to just relax, listen, play this in the background, leave a comment if you feel like doing so, but I didn't want to do just videos where I'm doing this grandiose voice acting or something like that, or I'm reporting from inside the ward. I just wanted to sometimes do a video where I sit down and I talk about why I do what I do. And as you can probably guess from the first line, I am an independent author. And the reason why I've gone down this path, and frankly have gone down the path for the past 15, 20 years, at this point I've honestly lost count, is because the publishing industry, if you really, really look at it, operates very much like a cartel. For those of you who are in the publishing game for longer than 10 seconds, you already know this truth. You're just going to sit there and laugh as I preach to the choir. If you happen to have stumbled across my channel and you have absolutely zero idea how the publishing industry works, well, allow me to enlighten you. Basically, I know every single niche, institution, skill, industry, whatever. They all have some sort of a gatekeeper in one form or another, and it makes sense that gatekeepers exist. What I find interesting with the publishing industry, however, is to me it feels as if the entire industry in of itself is one giant over-bloated and over-embellished gatekeeper that has complete totalitarian control over the industry. And when I get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's going to make a lot of sense. So, as we all know, organizations that love to move questionably legal substances across the border maintain an absolute monopoly over the product, the logistics, the distribution, transportation, who gets what and what gets sent to what nation, quantity, country. They control the whole shebang. The publishing industry is absolutely no different from that. The big five, I call them. I'm not going to name exactly the names of these industries, or not industries, but the companies, because I don't want to get sued into the ground. But basically, they control what books get published. They control when they get published. They set the narrative and define what people are going to be interested in, irregardless of what genre that person happens to be writing. They control almost all the marketing. They maintain a strong exclusivity network on suppliers, promoters, advertisers. They pretty much have full, complete authoritarian control over the whole industry. And that makes it very difficult for someone like myself, who's an independent author, independent content creator, a dude that loves to write crazy crap in books and let his mind run wild, puts together into a story, and somehow has made something tangible. To a guy like me, it's very difficult to break into the traditional industry. Because in order for me to do so, I basically have to conform to the narrative, if you will. And the narrative of the publishing industry is whatever it decides happens to be popular for any particular reason. And to be honest, I don't know how they come up with what's popular and what isn't, because, and this is just my opinion here, there's been a lot of professionally published books that have come out, but they're all cookie cutter. They all have the same romance plot, the same love triangle, the story goes from an interesting concept to the female main character, the male main character, whatever, getting caught up in this stupidly ridiculous love triangle, and you lose the plot in order to protect this love triangle's interest. And when I was creating Ward, I sat down and I went, okay, I absolutely can't stand how the same plot is being done again and again and again and again and again. It's all cookie cutter based off of the same template. They just change the name, but if you really look at the books and you look at the plot and you look at the love triangle, it's all the same crap. And it really hasn't changed in 10, 15, I'm going to say even 20, 25 years. So I'm sitting down when I first started the ward and I went, okay, what can I do to create a very unique love situation that isn't starting out as a love situation, if that makes any sense? It's evolved into that over time, and if you read the books, you'll inevitably see that. But I wanted to sit down and go, what could I do different? And frankly, one of the big things that I came up with is that Vilesoon, the Angel of Death, she physically cannot touch Calexio, the man she loves. I can't tell you why she can't touch him, otherwise it'll completely spoil one of the biggest plots and plot twists in the series, but basically, I wanted to make something that was different. I wanted to sit down and look at the pain of humans in the world and look at how humans are avoiding God or they're ignorant of God's presence in their lives. And that's something I really have to work on. So let me not talk like I'm a know it all, because I'm not. But I wanted to take the raw reality of my time doing disaster relief, my time as a case manager for the homeless on Skid Row, my time as a case manager right now as I'm recording this, looking out at the mountains here in Colorado. I found just reading all different kinds of novels, traditional and indie published, that especially in the traditional industry, they really go out of their way to avoid dealing with the nitty gritty, raw reality of life. And I find the reason why they do that is because a lot of humans try to avoid doing that in their own lives. You know, it's easier to drive up to a homeless person, you know, when you're going to make a left or a right at a light, and just put on your sunglasses and pretend they're not there, as opposed to actually looking at them and acknowledging them and seeing the pain that is another human looking back at you. Whatever the situation is in life or not isn't our place to judge. So when I started creating Ward, I wanted it to be as real, raw, unfiltered, blunt, and direct in your face as much as possible, which is basically a euphemism for the dude talking to you right now, because I am blunt AF and I have definitely gotten in trouble for that more than once in my life. And I'll probably get in trouble for it more times in my life, but anywho, it's the first time I'm making a video like this, so I'm not going to really go on for too much longer. Like I said, I didn't have a script for this video, and for these types of videos, I don't plan on making a script at all. I just plan on talking off the cuff and speaking the truth, and whatever comes out, comes out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Come on down. Welcome to the wood. Enjoy your stay, and I will see you in the next one.